What's up, SOBs? Welcome to the Stream of Blood. I am Jared Logan, your storyteller and game master, and you have tuned in to part 2 of our new ongoing Vampire the Masquerade 5th edition game, Vampires of Pittsburgh, Lockdown. Yes, the year is 2020 in Pittsburgh, and the vampires are experiencing an even worse version of 2020 than the one that you yourself have lived through. Thank you for coming and joining us for tonight's grim, horrifying gothic adventure. I just want to say thanks for bearing with us while we had to make a couple little schedule changes in the last week. We have very busy, very successful cast members who you will be seeing on your televisions soon. And that is why we had to make those slight shifts. But we promise you, we are going to keep bringing you really talented people pretending to be vampires every weekend that we can in the foreseeable future. What else can I tell you? I want to remind you that on Tuesday, we have one of our new games, our extra special kind of games that we've been doing. Tuesday at 7 p.m. Pacific. Tune into the Stream of Blood for part 2 of our Cyberpunk Red game. We are playing Cyberpunk Red from Archon Games. We were given a preview of the game by Artel Sorian. The whole game sort of ties in with a big video game that's coming out, Cyberpunk 2077, and we decided to run the game right out of the book. They had a sample adventure. They had it's called The Apartment, and I ran it with the pre-gen characters and everything, and it went splendidly. We've got Mike Drucker, Adam Garcia, and Kelly Nugent in that game, and we'd love for you to come and catch the second half to see if our Cyberpunk crew gets out of the situation they're in. They're currently in an apartment building that's been besieged by corporate goons armed with powerful automatic weapons. So we'll see if they're able to get themselves out of that on Tuesday. All right, that's my only advertisement for today. I think we should get into the game. Pittsburgh is in trouble, and these vampires need to save it, or at least, feed on a lot of people and become satiated. Let me bring in your players. This guy, he's our newest player. He is a hardcore video gamer. He's an actor that you may have seen as Father on Raised by Wolves, and he is coming to us all the way from the UK. Please welcome Abu Salim.
Hello.
What's up, man?
Hey, how you doing?
Good. Thanks for being here again.
Oh, cool.
Abu, you play a lot of video games, but am I right? Am I remembering correctly? This is your first kind of tabletop game experience?
Well, it's sort of the first one where I'm playing a vampire. I mean,
right.
I remember playing. I didn't actually know what it was back then, but I did play D&D with a bunch of friends. But it was almost like role playing over the table, and we were kind of making up the rules as we were going along. Little did we know.
How old were you?
I was young. I was like 12, genuinely, making up stuff.
When I was that age and we were playing Dungeons and Dragons, there was this big book. We would just sort of make it up because we did.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. So whereas this is not, it's quite lovely to rekindle that and come back into it. I think that's why I was an actor, right? Why I want to be an actor. Why I was, why I do acting is to try and pretend all the time. And now that I'm doing it this way, I should probably, kick in the acting for a bit and
hell yeah. No, this is amazing. It's like I always think it's so cool that my friends who are actors also always want to play role-playing games because they're like, oh no, it's a drug and I'm addicted to it. So,
it gives you a rush. It's live, it's fresh, it's so good.
Do you remember what class you played in Dungeons and Dragons?
I think I was a paladin, but I played the paladin so badly. It was only because I loved the idea of a paladin. So I didn't know about like the holiness and all this sort of stuff. I think I was a warrior trying to be a paladin. You know what I mean? Like
another one of those paladins that kills people and takes their stuff.
Pretty much, yeah. Not very holy. Whereas now I think I'd play it very differently.
Very nice. Well, your character, Lucius Ali, is certainly not a religious or holy man.
Absolutely not.
And we'll see how he carries out his personal quest in a little bit. I'm going to bring in a guy. He at a certain point became, I believe, a 19th level sorcerer in my recent Dungeons and Dragons game.
Wow.
19 levels, everybody. I got to tell you, as a dungeon master, it's almost impossible to throw anything at someone at 19th level and hope that it hurts them in any way. But he's a fantastic role player, actor that you may have seen on shows like The Good Place and many others. Please welcome Ross Bryant, everybody.
Oh, hey, Jay. Hey, guys.
Hey.
You caught me just looking at more of my cassette collection.
Oh yeah, your cassette collection.
Yeah. Just the dark and doom laden sounds that have been getting me through these days. So recommendation this week is Cremation Ritual by Ossuary.
Ossuary.
Yeah. Great.
Tell people what an ossuary is, Ross. An
ossuary is like a place for bones, a place where bones and the dead are housed. So like what I usually think of are those like if you think in like France and Czechoslovakia, there are these old what they call plague churches where when the plague came, there were so many dead bodies and so many human remains that the monks kind of looked at each other and were like, what if we use this as our interior decorating scheme? And you've got these churches where every single piece of ornamentation is like a human femur or a skull or a chandelier made of tibias. It is truly the most metal thing of all time. So this band pays homage to that.
I'm definitely into that type of music myself. I also want our chat to start using the hashtag chandelier made of tibias. I don't know if that's too long. I mean, look, everybody.
I'm pitching a show to HGTV, so
this is just stuff that Ross Bryant knows without. He's not even playing his character.
I love this. This is
Krieger right now.
I was like,
you can see why he's so good at vampire.
I haven't even physically met you, and this is brilliant.
Yeah, you're probably feeling relieved that you haven't at this point.
I'm a great first impression.
Let's bring in our final player. She is a fantastic actress, role player, voice actor on many video games such as The Last of Us and Horizon Zero Dawn. Boy, are we glad to have her back for another edition of Vampires of Pittsburgh. Please welcome everybody, Ashley Burch.
Hello.
Hi.
How many cassettes do you own, Ross? I didn't know that you had a collection.
I've got a whole bunch. I mean, there's a rack sitting back here that's like the whole.
Yeah, bring it out.
Oh my God!
That is wow.
That's a lot more than I thought.
But nobody does cassettes anymore. You have to buy those racks from supply companies that supply to like churches because the only people with that many cassettes are people who have like weird like recorded sermons. So it's
have some of those?
It's weirdo tape collectors and like youth ministers who have this type of thing.
Only the church uses cassette tapes now. I don't know. This is inspiration for some kind of vampire adventure.
Is Mary just going to be hiding somewhere listening to cassette tapes? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Our great NPC Mary, the elder vampire, is in a church basement somewhere, just listening to things on cassette.
I like that.
Out the new Ossuary album.
Yeah.
All right, guys. I think it is time to play some Vampire the Masquerade. Are you guys ready to play?
Oh yeah.
Alrighty.
Let's jump right into the action with a almost full page recap. Welcome to an even worse version of 2020 than the one you already lived through. This is the world of darkness. On our last session, Curtis Krieger received a grouper text from his friend Jen Brown. He and his friends, his mortal Touchstone Craig and his ghoul Brad Lockwood, headed back into Pittsburgh after almost a year to help her. As I said, it is now 2020 in our game chronology. The city was in lockdown when they arrived. There was no one on the streets except for government men in hazmat suits burning down buildings. Lucius Ali, a Ventru who escaped the fall of London, was here in Pittsburgh and has been searching for his sire for years. He and his mortal sister Clara followed the trail here to, of all places, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Curtis broke up a fight between Lucius and Misery outside the burning husk of the Svengali nightclub. And his crew took Lucius with them to the Squirrel Hill Theater, an abandoned building where Jen Brown said to meet her in the message. They found a few of the old vampire band there, their old Anarch crew, the True Believer Nosferatu Thana, Circe, the Malkavian witch, and Dylan, the mortal that has kind of allied herself with these vampires. They had Jen Brown in the trunk of a Celica, where they'd been keeping her in torpor for almost a year. Now, luckily, Lucius being a medical man before his embrace, and also someone who has studied vampires and their blood properties quite extensively in certain ways, fed her a little of his blood, and Jen Brown was revived. That's when the Camarilla sprung its trap. Members of Clan Nosferatu, along with their ghouls, arrived to capture the heroes. They were joined by a mysterious stranger in a plague doctor mask. Her soldiers referred to her as the Archon, but Lucius knew that it was his sire, the one he'd been searching for, Isabel Collins. Shots were fired, which made the Camarilla licks nervous. Lucius got the jump on Isabel, but then she activated a submerged directive in his brain.
I forgot about that.
Got Manchurian candidate.
She Manchurian candidated Lucius. Everyone scattered as the hazmat-suited goons descended on the theater. Our coterie barely escaped into the night, and we're going to pick up right where we left off. You're together. Your characters are together along with the NPCs I mentioned. Those are Thana the Nosferatu, Circe, the vampire who thinks that she's a witch, and Dylan, along with Curtis's allies, Brad and Craig. But you have abandoned your vehicle. Isn't that right, Curtis? You've abandoned the van.
Another one bites the dust. Yeah. I guess so.
So,
okay.
Abu, I think we've lost... How many cars have we lost? 10 cars, maybe more in this game?
10? How are you hiding?
It's an excellent question.
They're constantly stealing cars and then having to abandon them somewhere else.
We're really bad at hiding our trail. We're just
Brilliant.
very obvious.
Oh, what a group to join.
Yeah.
And in fact, maybe Lucius is getting the idea, from looking around at these guys, that maybe Lucius is feeling like they're not as organized or as professional as he is at this sort of kind of infiltrating a city or something, because that was truly chaos with a lot of people shouting at each other what just happened. You all are kind of right now I'm going to describe it, if you don't mind, as cowering in a garage, like a parking garage complex, and you can see just over, a couple blocks over, big billowing clouds of smoke coming from the theater you're just in, and you can hear, because the city is quiet, no one's on the streets, you can hear the crackle of the flames as the government men completely destroy the location you were just in, just because you were there. So I want to know, what are you going to do? Because in a few hours, let's see how many hours. Yeah, okay, you have 3 hours, but in 3 hours, the sun will be up. And you will be in danger. So I want to know what you're going to do, how you're going to slumber for the night, how are you going to find a safe haven?
Is there a hospital nearby?
How close are we to the hospitals?
That is an excellent question. I will find out if there is a hospital nearby. And anybody that has a streetwise skill would know that.
Yeah, I do. Would that be?
Give me an intelligence plus streetwise roll.
Right. All right. 2 successes.
Only 2 successes. Okay, let me see. So I have decided that the number of successes you get on this roll is going to determine how well how well situated you get as you guys all like run on foot to hide here. And I'm just looking up what the hospital would be. There is a hospital, but it seems like on foot it's going to be very risky. You can give it a shot. You can try. You guys can all try to run there together.
Do we have? Is this area familiar at all from our old days?
Yeah, this is Squirrel Hill. It is a neighborhood of Pittsburgh that definitely Jen and Curtis have visited before. It looks a little different than it did before. It used to be a lot of Indian restaurants, coffee shops. It's sort of like an upper middle class kind of neighborhood, commercial district. But unfortunately, yeah, the hospital is going to be a little far away. With the proper streetwise rolls, you might find a place to kind of like hide out. But the hospital is you can give it a shot. You could try running to the hospital, but I would make you make other rolls to avoid these government men that are on the streets.
Okay.
Let's see. So we're familiar with this neighborhood, but do we know? Is there anything that comes to mind that's close that could do?
Yeah. Do you want to see what your 2 successes got you in terms of someplace that's close, Ross?
Maybe I'll actually spend a willpower and see if I can bump that.
Re-roll those failed dice. You can do that.
Great.
Lucius
and Jen haven't actually met yet, have we?
No, I mean,
I just gave you my blood. And you seem to drink it and wake up, so I guess we can be acquainted.
You can, perhaps your characters have something to share with each other and don't let me get in the way of that.
3 successes.
Okay, so with 3 successes, Curtis thinks of a place right here in the neighborhood that might be good to house a bunch of vampires that seems like it would have some safety from the sunlight. And that is a place called the Aruba Breeze Tanning and Waxing Salon.
What?
Yeah. So the deal with this place is that, Curtis, I don't know why you were in there at one point, but it's in the neighborhood and, it has all these individual rooms that shut and lock so that people can tan and, get their waxing done, even complete with beds.
But does it operate during the day or are all the businesses shut down?
Well, Curtis is pointing it out to you. I assume you guys are kind of moving through the neighborhood and it looks like it's all boarded up. I mean, it's not operating during the pandemic.
Okay.
Yeah. How would Curtis know that?
Now look. You can go, we don't like that place. Let's go to that hospital. Let's run all the way to that hospital, which would be a UPMC hospital. I told you that it's a little ways on foot, but you could give it a shot. Or you can go, no, Jared, I want this kind of place. And we'll make a roll to see if you can find that kind of place.
Okay.
But you have to be specific. Tell me what you're looking for or specifically what you're trying to remember.
I think we should try this tanning place. The safest option right now. There's going to be a lot of people in the hospital. I was thinking of going into a morgue, but there is a pandemic going on.
Yeah, back when I was using, I knew a girl who worked at this place. We hung out here a couple times after hours, and you can get very private.
Sure.
A tanning bed is basically a coffin, right?
With UV rays.
And I start looking at the boards to see if there's any method of getting in, if there's a way of breaking in a secretive and stealthy fashion.
Good question. I'm not going to repeat the whole situation where you have to roll to get the boards off and get inside. I think that this place is kind of boarded up for now. And with the group you have, 2 of whom are kind of criminals and drug addicts, you're able to eventually get inside and sort of replace the boards. And now you are inside of this place. Of course, it has the open area in the front with the desk. And then if you go back into a short little corridor, there are 4 rooms that provide tanning beds and beds where people would lay and have their bodies waxed.
Okay, so we're all inside the tanning salon now.
Yeah, and the decor is like very like Aruba. It's got like they've got like palm trees painted on the walls and like old posters that probably belonged in bars for like Corona and stuff like that.
Okay, so I feel like Jen's probably still really shell shocked, but I feel like she want to know what the fuck is going on. So like, how long has it been like this? What the hell is happening?
I just got to town. You'd have to ask them.
I'm gonna look at the other people in the group.
Sure. I think that Dylan, who's the mortal who is with you, is like, I mean, a month ago the virus hit.
Virus.
Yeah, there's.
Jim.
Like the flu? Is it like?
Okay, so then the characters explain to COVID-19, but what they explain to you more in detail is that it looks like it took a couple months, but all of the trouble that was caused in Pittsburgh by your group, your kind of war with the Camarilla that happened in our previous series, eventually more and more vampires started disappearing. And then when the pandemic hit, that seemed to be a good kind of smokescreen. This is what Thana tells you. It seemed to be a good smokescreen for the Inquisition to just come in en masse. And they are fairly certain that the people in the hazmat suits work, or at least are being controlled by members of the Inquisition, because they have systematically quarantined major vampire havens all over Pittsburgh, including the various Nosferatu warrens in Polish Hill, the Steel Stacks, which was the home of the Ventru kind of leadership. That has been like completely shut down and surrounded by guys in hazmat suits for weeks, on the thin kind of excuse that there was a concert right before and they need to like go through and clean it out or something like that. So all of these different havens where vampires were hiding out in the city are being burnt to the ground or inhabited, currently kind of invaded by these government stooges.
So they're all scared. They ran scared. The Camarilla are running scared right now. Who's this? I'm going to nod at Lucius.
I'm the one who saved your life. Well, yeah. What you had of it. Lucius Ali. I'm new to the group. Your friend over here saved me earlier. I was, let's say, having an altercation with another one of our kin.
Well, I'm sure you remember Misery, or at least James does.
Misery. What happened to you? She said something to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty curious about that myself, Lucius. This is
I'm sure.
Sister Clara. She's like, we travel halfway across the world to find her. You have her at your feet, and you choked.
I didn't choke.
You were searching for the Archon?
Yes. The Archon is my creator, maker, and I wish to pay her a visit to repay this lovely gift that she has given me. And it seemed that when the moment was right, she changed that. She seems to have put in some form of whatever the fuck it is in my head, which made me stop moving. This is a lot harder. Yes. It's complicated, but yes.
So she can get you to stop moving.
She can do so much more than that.
What other things can she make you do?
I think it was more than that. You don't want to destroy her, do you,
Oh,
Lucius?
don't be silly. I didn't bring you all across the fucking ocean to say my pleasantries and hello. No, I want to get rid of her. I want to destroy her. I want to destroy us. This thing, this curse that seems to this is too much.
Keep telling yourself that, brother.
Yeah.
She walks into the back.
What you're going through reminds me of what's happening to a friend of mine.
Who? That girl you screamed for earlier.
Yeah. Except she's not one of us. She's something worse. She's a slave to them. Do we have any information? Anything? Do we know anything about where the Camarilla are right now? What's happened to them? Where they're hiding? If the havens are getting cordoned off?
Your friends Thana and Circe and Dylan are like, we've been a little busy. This is Circe. We've been a little busy, making sure these guys don't destroy us.
Right. Phone. Can I start checking myself to see if I have a phone? I'm sure it's dead, but
yeah, they didn't let you didn't have your phone on you. I mean, maybe you lost it all the way back at the Cathedral of Learning, or at some point transporting your body. You seem to have lost the things, your tech.
I hand you my phone.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, here you go. You might be interested to know that you texted me.
What?
Then I open it up and I show her.
Thana's like, we didn't send that message.
It must have been Sabrina.
Somebody set a trap for me and used you as bait.
Why did you leave, Curtis?
Because I thought you were dead. Because Miles is dead. Because everything had fallen apart and they were coming after us.
So he's definitely dead.
I mean, I haven't seen the body, but...
Fuck. What do we do here? I don't know what to do here.
We wait till tomorrow night and we go again hunting. Is my suggestion. Surviving, hunting, however you want to put it. But the point is, we can't just sit here and wait. We need to act. We're being chased by more than these hazmat suited fools. We're being chased by a foolish vampire who believes to be a plague doctor of a sort.
Did you say something about a camp that people were being taken to?
Yeah, Dylan's like, well, they've created this sort of quarantine zone at Shinley Park. They've got a lot of big vehicles down there, these sort of airtight tents. They did it under the pretense that they're kind of gathering up the homeless population. Making sure that they're quarantined and not spreading the virus.
Do they have any of us in there?
We're not sure, but we think it's probably likely there's a couple vampires that weren't just destroyed. That they've taken them as prisoners.
Then maybe there's a chance that Miles is still out there?
Who's Miles?
A friend.
We didn't have a choice in this either, Lucius, okay? We didn't ask for this. We got turned as pawns in a fucking war we never asked to join.
Miles is your creator.
No. He was turned with us.
Ah.
And we were the three of us were about the only ones of us we had for a while.
We tried to fight back against the powers that be here in Philadelphia. In Pittsburgh, I mean, which is where our game is set.
I haven't been there. I wouldn't
I
know.
don't know where Philadelphia game is.
In the greater Pennsylvania urban corridor, which includes both.
New England, baby.
And we failed. And now this is what the city looks like. Can I take Curtis's phone? And I don't know if I would imagine I would still remember this, but I had that conversation with that guy that we thought might be from the Inquisition on their weird QAnon forum.
That's right, you did.
And I'm just wondering if I can look back at that conversation or back at that forum or something and see if I can see any information about what's going on.
Yeah, his handle was Forgive Me Father. And you remember like when you started to go dark on him, he just sent a lot of like almost harassing DMs at you. And you knew that he was sort of connected to the Inquisition somehow. So you want to look up his kind of his participation in the forums lately, or if he sent you any messages?
Yeah.
What I'd also like to ask, since you guys are kind of in a really nice way, filling each other in on exposition, how guarded are you being? It sounds like Lucius is kind of keeping some of his story to himself. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Are the other two, are you kind of sharing everything so that we can kind of assume, during the course of this conversation, people sort of are aware of what people's powers are and, kind of the history of the situation at this point? Or are there things that you're keeping to yourselves? That's what I want to know.
I don't think Jen's in a good enough headspace to be strategic right now, so she's probably not hiding things.
Great.
I think when it comes to what Curtis can do, I feel like he's shown quite a bit of his hand, but he's not going to be talking about like everything. No.
All right, so people don't quite trust each other yet, or they are just not in a headspace to kind of fully make friends yet, and that's fine. Jen, give me just a research roll. I think what would work well is, let's say a intelligence plus. I don't want to make it tech. I want to make it something else.
You don't want to make it tech?
Okay, make it tech. Make it tech. I want to be a nice storyteller.
Thank you. Is my hunger at 2? I forgot.
Yeah. So I think your hunger was at 2.
Okay.
And it could go up after you sleep because there will be a rouse roll. But let's see how you do. 3 successes. Okay, so that's enough to find that. Around a month ago, this guy was talking about how the Lord's army is going to start. I mean, he doesn't send you any more messages. He starts sending all these messages about how the Lord's army is going to take out these Antifa thugs who are holding Pittsburgh hostage. These so-called protesters will finally get what's coming to them. He's saying all of this before news of the pandemic hits. He's bragging about it a lot. He's talking in a lot of scary forums about those kind of things and getting his crew kind of really riled up for some sort of, military operation. Is they're using that kind of vocabulary. And this is before the pandemic hit? This is right before. Like, so we're talking late February, or very early March. So has there been any correspondence during the pandemic, or no? Has it gone with you? No, just in general. Any sort of so he kind of does go quiet after that. And in fact, a couple of the voices on that forum kind of stopped posting. So it's interesting. And of course, you have to go to like a scary part of the internet to find all of this. This isn't just on Reddit or something, or like on a local Pittsburgh board. So that's the kind of information you're getting. Can I ask Thana or Cersei, or no, actually I'm going to ask Dylan. Mm-hmm. Was there, were there any massive protests or counter protests? Was there some sort of militia event that happened before the pandemic hit? No, they kept saying that the things that you guys had done. Remember, like the U.S. Steel Building attack, and then the thing that happened at the Cathedral of Learning. That's how it came out in the press. And she shows you on your computer that they turned it all. They spun it all as like Antifa attacks, like far left protesters destroy Cathedral of Learning. Student protesters burn down university building.
So nothing from humans, just people claiming falsely that they had made, misattributing our actions.
Yeah, in fact, okay, so you do a little searching there. Your 3 successes will get you this as well. You do a little searching there, and there are people you've never heard of with weird handles saying, yeah, we burned down the Cathedral of Learning and we'll do it again. You know what I mean? The U.S. Steel Building was us. Our movement will not be stopped. And of course they're using, and this is quite troubling, but they're using all of the kind of, peace, justice, social justice movements, hashtags. It looks like a frame because that those were all vampire related kind of actions.
Okay. I was trying to see if there's any sort of way to find out who this person was or who any of these people are based on actions they were taking in the daytime, but it seems like they're just fuckwits.
Some of them may just be fuckwits. The guy, Father forgive me, the guy that you kind of been following and talking to, it did seem at a certain point that he knew more. But like I said, he goes a little dark after the quarantine starts.
I'm going to send him a message that says, "Are you there?" And that's it.
Very good. Does anybody else want to do anything before the sun starts to rise over Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania?
I want to talk to Brad Lockwood real quick.
Yeah.
And see if just because the streets have been shut down doesn't mean the traffic has stopped. You got any contacts who are moving product in and out of the city?
Shit, man, I don't know. It's been a while since we've been through here, but I can ask around.
Yeah, do that. See who's bringing stuff in, where the clientele is. Maybe we can get a piece of the action.
Yeah, I think we're going to have to get a little piece, Curtis, because Craig is he's looking a little shaky. And you see that your war buddy, your closest friend who's with you is like in a corner, like kind of shivering and sweating. And it looks like he's kind of going into symptoms of withdrawal.
Can I, I'm looking at that. Can I assess it a bit more in the sense of a medical term? And
absolutely. Yeah. Why don't you give me a intelligence plus medicine roll?
Okay.
And you only need 2 successes to know what's going on.
4 successes.
Great. You're absolutely sure what's happening with this guy. One of the people in this team of people you've joined, Lucius, is in the symptoms of, withdrawal from probably opioids.
Who is that?
I kind of pull you aside. It's like,
hey, don't worry about it, man. Okay, he's cool. All right.
I am fucking worried. Who is that?
Look, he's with me. Okay, we were in the service together. I had to get him out of here just to keep an eye on him. All right.
Yeah, he saved your fucking ass, man. When you were on the street about to get flamethrowered, he was one of the guys shooting at the people who were after you. So
what if he
why don't you
decides
back?
What if he decides
off?
to run and do something stupid? He could expose us all.
He's not going to do anything.
I don't know if you can see him. He's shaking. He's desperate.
He's dope sick, okay? He's gonna.
You see Circe, one of the vampires, has approached Brad and is kind of talking to him quietly. I'm not Brad. I'm sorry, your friend Craig, the mortal that you guys are talking about right now.
I mean, just hoping I could get a chance to clean him up, but it's hard, okay? It's hard.
Well, don't make it hard for everyone. And I leave and walk off to go see where Clara is.
Very good. Curtis, I want you to give me a wits plus occult roll, or it could be awareness. Actually, just wits plus awareness is fine.
All right.
I need you to get like 3 successes, though.
Okay. We'll see. Ooh, 4 successes.
Ooh.
Very good. So you're watching Craig
Very
closely.
aware.
You're watching him closely, especially after Lucius is like kind of like, what the fuck? This guy's a problem. This guy's an Achilles heel. And you notice that the vampire Circe, one of the random anarch bands, people in your anarch band, is kind of like really talking very closely to him now, and kind of like looking deeply into his eyes. And you get the feeling that she's not just commiserating with him. Something else is going on.
Yeah, I walk over and put my hand on her shoulder.
She turns around like, is there a problem?
Well, you tell me if there's a problem. Look, he's with me, okay? So I don't need you getting into his head.
Look, it's fine. This is Craig. It's fine, Curtis, okay? It's all right. All right, man? Just give us some space. You heard him. He said it's fine.
And you heard me.
He shows a little bit of a fang.
I said, leave him alone. He's with me.
What are you using? You need to intimidate her, because she seems like she's kind of like now, like kind of the beast is kind of coming out of her a little bit. She's kind of like raising up. She seems a little taller than she was a second ago. And she's, Circe's got an enormous head of hair that sticks way up in blues and purples. She's covered in tattoos along her neck. She's not an unintimidating person. She doesn't look like someone trying to be a gutter punk. She is a gutter punk. She lived rough before she became a blood drinking monster. So what are you doing? What role do you want to use?
I mean, it sounds like what I was intimidating her.
Yeah, let's try that.
So yeah, what am I adding to that?
I think that you can roll your charisma if you're being kind of just forceful and commanding her. But if you are trying to trick her or negotiate with her, then you need to use your manipulation.
So these are both pretty bad rolls for me, but I'll do a charisma.
Okay, she's going to try to withstand this. So you need to get more successes than her.
Don't sound like the numbers are in my favor. Total failure. I did not get any successes.
She gets really close to you and she's like, I haven't eaten in a long time. I need this. And he's just sitting over here, giving off a scent, So why don't you step back? And I promise I won't do too much damage.
Circe, you stopped me from hurting Dylan, didn't you?
Don't do that. Don't bring that up, okay? Don't.
I almost killed her, and you stopped. You stopped it from happening.
Yo, fuck you, Jen. She walks into the back.
Oh shit! This is so good.
No
Sorry,
role necessary. No role necessary. That was so fucking. That was a moment. Okay.
So good.
So I kneel down with Craig. I'm just like, okay, it's all right, man. Okay.
I can handle myself, man.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I'm not scared of any of these people.
Yeah. It's fine. I look around this office. Do they have just like a mini fridge for the workers or something? Is there human food and drink here?
Yeah, there is a little kind of break room kind of area behind the office. I mean, it's really sad. It's like, not sad, but it's a small storefront. They've used up a lot of their square footage for, their rooms to house people who are tanning, so they just have this little room that's a combination break room and also where people would kind of get some supplies and things when they're doing their job. It looks like a lot of the stuff is gone. It's been removed from the shelves. And when you open the little mini fridge, all you find are like, there's like an old like tomato soup in a box.
Oh, great. God. Sell by December 2019. Yeah. Oh, poor Craig. I was like, I think just before we go down, I walk by Jen, I'm like, thank you. And maybe go up to Lucius and be like, so what are you, some sort of doctor?
Yes, I am some sort of doctor.
All right. So, I mean, when I was getting clean, sometimes, do you know, do you know how to get anything that could like wean him off? We got to get him clean, man.
Absolutely. The drug or death. You never get clean. You know that. I know that.
Yeah, I know that. Once an addict, always an addict. You don't need to tell me.
I'm sure we could find something. Could I use maybe like my medicine now to kind of think about like what we could possibly use in the area or see in the area or anything to kind of suppress this?
Absolutely. Yeah, I think you should roll. I think it requires 4 successes to figure out like a nearby kind of source. But if you have been kind of walking up and down this neighborhood for a little while, so maybe you spotted something.
Okay. So I should roll how many in my dice pool right now?
Let's go with intelligence plus your medicine.
Okay. 3 successes.
Okay. Not quite enough. You guys could make the trip to the hospital. Maybe, the next night with like a vehicle, if you could acquire one of those or something, Brad is also working on it, but Lucius could definitely get into a medical place and like kind of acquire it with like a roll, like, because he knows how to speak the language. I'm just, hold on. I'm going to look and see. If anything really kind of jumped out to your memory, Lucius. Yeah, there was a place. There was a place that you understand, because perhaps at some point you did like a little bit of time in a place like this when you were training, or maybe you just know about them. There was a place called the Aleph Center where it's basically a Jewish community center for people who are getting out of prison, who are perhaps either they need like very cheap rehab, like they're not able to go to like some big farm upstate. They have to kind of, work on rehabilitation in the city, and it's not far away.
So there's a place. I think it's called the Aleph Center. Not too far from here. Might be able to help your friend and us. Now it's a risk, of course, because I don't know if you're aware, but I feel the sun is quite close.
Yeah.
So
the sun is quite close. In fact, I'm willing to say that if everybody doesn't have any one final action, we're going to go ahead and you feel your blood slowing. You feel your body slowing.
Could I ask a question?
You may.
When we saw the other vampires that attacked us, I don't know if this is something that we could visually see, but did they seem well fed? Did they seem hungry?
That's extremely interesting. I want to roll. I want a occult plus wits roll.
Ooh, I don't think I have any occult.
Maybe you should ask someone who does.
Do you? Lucius has a cult, right? Or does Curtis doesn't have a cult? Do you have a cult?
I don't have a cult. No.
No. Oh, Cersei? That I just pissed off?
Yep.
That's the one.
Okay, can I go up to her? Because she said she's hungry. So
she is like literally closing a tanning bed right now. But you can. Do you want to stop her?
Yeah, I'm gonna say, Cersei, I know you're hungry. I know everyone's hungry. But they didn't look hungry. Those Camarilla fucks, they're eating. They're feeding somehow. What do you think?
Yeah, they're not starving. I don't know what their secret is. I don't know what they're doing. Maybe get on your cell phone and find out.
Was she the one that had a cult? Maybe I forgot. Was it her?
She is. She's just not going to.
She's just not talking to me.
Yeah. And
Is
now
Thana? Okay, we're
it's time to. I mean, Jen Brown, you can stay up a little longer, but the other two, are you guys going to tell me? Do you just want to find a room and close yourself in?
The date. Oh no, everyone's on fucking lockdown. No, never mind. Forget about it. I was gonna go and talk to Clara and tell her, like, look, go to the left center and look for something that is similar of this. Try.
She can do it.
Yeah,
she can do it.
I'm gonna send her out. I'm gonna. She's. I mean, she can handle herself, so I'm gonna send her out to do this.
Okay, so basically, you're asking her to like go get some methadone. Like they have stuff that they give to their people who are kind of trying to get clean to slowly wean them off, and she's like, "What do you want me to like? Steal it?"
Yes, steal it.
All right, Lush.
If
I'm not here when you wake up, I guess I'd check the local prisons, jails.
Oh, just hold on.
Detention centers.
Wait. I go up to Curtis. Listen, before we sleep, have you got any money, anything? How were you going to get this gear that you wanted?
I mean, we'd established that we were pretty wallet light last time, right? Unless I stole money from that cash register of that gas station we were at.
Wow, that's interesting. Give me a wits plus larceny roll, and that means if you get some, the number of successes you get is the amount of cash you ripped off that woman before feeding on her.
oh, Curtis.
Living rough.
Yeah. Okay. 2 successes.
Okay, so that's not nothing. I think that you managed to cobble together $50 out of that drawer.
I give that to
small bills.
That's enough. I go up to Clara. Take this, and please, please, please be careful.
I know what I'm doing, Lush.
I'm sure you do.
So Clara is going to go and try to get some methadone for Craig while Brad leaves during the day to kind of try to get in touch with his criminal contacts and see, what the situation is with the drug trade in Pittsburgh. One final thing before everybody.
Can I also just kind of ask Dylan to keep an eye on Craig?
Good idea. Okay. Dylan's like, yeah, no problem.
Thank you.
And Jen Brown, you find that the only available berth left as people start to go back into various rooms is one with Thana. Thana's the one who keeps talking about how this was all destined to happen. And before she kind of closes herself into a tanning bed, she's like, if only we had the urn, we would not be struggling. We would not be worrying about being fed.
I know.
She closes herself into her berth. And now I need to make a roll.
Uh-oh.
It's never good when Jared rolls. It's never good when he rolls.
A devilish grin.
Why does he have so many dice?
Okay. The sun comes up. The empty streets are bathed in its rays. The fires stop burning, but the ash still hangs over the city like it did hundreds of years ago when the furnaces smelt steel. It passes through the sky, the sun, it goes down again. And at the beginning of the next night, each of you make a rouse roll. Remember, you roll 1 die, If it's a success, you do not get hungrier. If it is a failure, your hunger goes up by 1 die.
Oh, okay.
Total failure. Jen Brown.
Jen Brown is hungrier.
Back in these streets. Curtis is
Back in
hungrier.
these streets.
I'm okay, I think.
Oh, nice. Oh, good.
I'm glad we have someone who's practical.
I know,
around here.
Listen, man, I feel good. I feel good.
Let's see how Clara did on her mission.
Shit. Don't do this to me, man.
And let's see how Brad did on his mission.
Doesn't it sound like there's somehow less dice when you're rolling for our things?
No, that's not true.
Don't seem fair.
Don't worry. It's all on the up and up.
I'm just
so
saying.
no, of course. Yeah, you guys awaken. It's literally like you are dead, inert, and then your consciousness just kind of comes on like a spark. And
like the full Dracula come out of a tanning bed.
Out of a
tanning bed, yeah. The mortals and various other vampires are slowly getting out of their crypts. And you can decide what you'd like to do next. But first, I will give you an update. So Clara comes into where you've been sleeping, Lucius, and she's like, "Morning, handsome."
Morning. How are you?
Real good. And she tosses you a little packet.
You are a star. Where I'd be without you, I don't know.
Yeah, those men working over at that place, they're overworked, not happy, and they were really interested in $50.
Of course. Money.
And Brad is going to report to Curtis. Yeah, I mean, I think I know who's moving stuff, but it's tough because, like, you have to make, like, an appointment with him now because, no one is, like, out at the bars. But if you want to arrange a meeting, I can do that.
You got a name?
Yeah, Simmons.
Does he take meetings during the day?
I mean, he probably would take a meeting anytime you want because people need their shit, and he's sort of on call now.
Good. Yeah, maybe we should arrange a meeting.
All right. Today? I mean, tonight?
It's like, I'll think it over.
Oh, hey, Kurt, one more thing, man. I'm getting kind of thirsty, man.
Yeah. Funny. I was just thinking the same thing. And
Right, okay.
When I get mine, you'll get yours.
Okay, buddy. I'll go set up that meat.
Hey, thanks. You done good, bud. You done real good.
Okay.
Are we all together now?
Yeah,
we're gathered.
Yeah.
Can I say that I'm sort of just like sitting on the ground and I'm sort of watching Craig, and not really engaging with anyone else. I don't know what he's doing, but I'm just sort of like kind of looking at him, but not really looking at him and thinking, I don't know what everyone else is doing.
Oh, Craig. Yeah. Let me see how he's doing, actually. He's not doing well. He is like kind of asleep, but not really asleep. He's kind of like laying on the floor, like in the front of the place. If someone had broken in or looked in, they would have thought maybe he was a squatter or something like that. And he's kind of in this like half asleep state, kind of sitting there and kind of like slightly shaking. And he looks like he's in a bad way.
I'm going to go up to Curtis. Hey, this is what you need.
Thanks.
Now, I'm sorry. You did help me the other night, and I am truly thankful for that. But I do mean it when I say that if there is any sign of danger to me or Clara, I will act. I will act.
And then I take the methadone, and I'm just like, it's good that we understand each other, because I hope that you know that if anything happens to my friends, I feel the exact same way. It's good to know we have another man of action around.
Yeah.
And hey, addiction is a process, okay? You get up, you get let go, but the hooks stay in. And the next time you get really hungry, maybe think twice about taking such a sanctimonious tone about who's addicted to what. Thanks again, pal. And then I walk back to give Craig his medicine.
Great. It's like a packet that is like all in one dose. So basically, the little bottle inside like a plastic, you got to pop it open, and you have to kind of deliver it into his vein. Do you know how to do that, Curtis Krieger?
Oh, wait, are we shooting him up with this stuff?
You have to, yeah.
Yeah, I'm experienced.
You know what you're doing. That makes sense. Okay, so you give this to you kind of bring him awake, and you start doing this for him, and he looks you in the eye, and you can tell that he is just so grateful. He almost wants to cry, but he's really evidencing some real, West Pennsylvania man kind of reaction to his feelings. He's just kind of trying to hold them in.
Yeah, it's just like, yep, here we go, buddy. It's two men just kind of like
clenched up,
staring at each other's
so
eyes.
Clenched up. So clenched up.
Yeah.
You can't cry in front of your army, buddy.
But there's also
well, you can, but Craig doesn't. Yeah.
Uh-huh. And if I did, it would be really disturbing because as we've established in this game, blood tears.
When Curtis is done, can I kind of call him over?
Yeah.
I'm just sort of looking at the ground. I did this to us, didn't I?
What are you talking about?
The urn. All the fires we set.
I didn't expect it.
I think I did this to us.
You didn't do anything. You wanted to play it. You wanted to play it cool. We insisted on going in force. I insisted.
So what do we do now?
If fucking Bob hadn't have fucking shot that thing, everybody.
Where is Bob? Fucking Bob.
I keep asking.
What do we do now, Curtis? We've got more humans than vamps now. Vamps that are getting hungrier. Fuck, I'm getting hungrier.
Yeah.
I don't know what to do. I'm sorry you came back for me. You probably would have been okay if you just kept going.
No. I had to come back. It's stupid of me to walk right into their trap, but hey, you're here. Silver lining.
You hear someone from the inside kind of taking apart the stuff in front of the door to exit the tanning salon.
From the inside?
Someone's
leaving. It sounds like.
Can I stick my head around the corner, see who it is?
Yeah, it's Circe. She's leaving. She's going out into the night, unless you want to stop her or interact with her.
Yeah, I'll hustle over there. Where are you headed?
I'm going to hunt, man.
Yeah. You have
I don't think I can go another night.
I don't think I can either.
Can I walk up and say, Cersei, I feel like you know something.
What do you think that I know, Jen?
How are they feeding?
I can't figure it out. I don't know. I know what you're saying. I know that they don't seem hungry at all, the cam vamps, but I don't know where they're getting it. I mean,
let's figure it
got
out.
All the money of your fucking company at their disposal.
We can figure it out if we put our heads together, okay? Is there
Aren't
anything
you
you
the one
remember?
that's supposed to have some sort of back door into their system or something?
Do I still?
You haven't checked it in a year. And you also have only a cell phone right now.
So is it impossible for me to try?
You could try on a smartphone, but I mean, I'm going to make it be like 6 successes. You need your setup if you want to do any in-depth investigation that way.
If I can get to a computer, to a system, I could try to access it. I don't know where to find something like that right now.
I'll see if I can stop by the Apple store on my way to drain a fucking juice bag.
I guess we could try to break in somewhere, but I don't know. I haven't been there for a year. I feel like Sabrina would have found it by now.
It's a risk. You won't know till you look. I mean, basically, we're talking about how you found a backdoor into Sabrina's account at the tech company you guys used to both work at. It's possible that her security sweeps may not have caught it. You had a lot of successes built up in that, continued rolling.
Mm-hmm.
So it's possible it's still there, that it kind of, because you weren't using it, you weren't kind of drawing attention to it. But basically, you can kind of get onto her account and see who she's been talking with, what she's been talking about. And from there, you can even sometimes you can get her regular emails, her work emails, because they're all kind of forwarded into her group or app. So, I mean, it might be something useful to have if you want to know about what the Camarilla is doing right now.
I also feel like she'd want to know for the sake of knowing what Sabrina's doing. But I wouldn't have a sense of where I could get access to the kind of tech I would need to do that nearby.
I mean,
right?
there are stores in Pittsburgh, but I mean, you are talking about swiping some stuff. You right now, you guys are back at square one, as you have sort of implied. You don't have any equipment. You don't have a food source. You're all starving in here.
I mean, Curtis is just
maybe
kind of
you just find a place. Well, nothing's open. That's the thing. I mean, can you just find a place to go buy something? And then you don't have any money. Sorry, Curtis. I just want to make clear what the situation is.
Are there DoorDash, Grubhub delivery people going around in cars and on bikes?
Cars are going by, and yeah, sure. This is what I love about role-playing games. I'm like a story of vampires.
Ordering.
Jen checks her phone, and Grubhub is operating in the Pittsburgh area.
Roll for Uber Eats. Yeah. Because I'm like, if we could find somebody who is going to a place I don't know, where condos are, who's delivering a meal for one. And if we knocked on the door of the delivery, hey, he gets his meal, we get ours, and access to whatever technology is in the apartment.
Wow.
You guys are talking about signing up as Postmates drivers?
How long do you think the application process is?
I mean, they're desperate for people right now.
Their business has never been better.
We're independent contractors. We're not technically employees. You don't have to give us benefits or nothing.
I love the flexibility. Why do you need healthcare?
Dylan goes, guys, I already I used to. Yeah, my account's still active. I used to deliver food.
I love it. Yes, let's
Let's
have a
do
Grubhub adventure. I love it. Let's do it.
Yeah,
go
no,
to
I mean,
a
this
place
is
where we can
I
drop
think
off
this is a
food,
brilliant
drink some
plan.
blood, and then get on their computer.
As
for a
your
bit.
storyteller, I think this is a brilliant plan. Dylan says she can activate her account if you guys want.
Yes.
Yeah, Dylan's the chillest human that we've ever met. I think. Yeah.
Okay.
This is a weird question.
I'll tell him I'm taking jobs. Yeah, go ahead and ask your question.
Because Jen has a moralist bent. So I'm wondering if there's something like, there probably isn't a way to do this, but you know how in Lyft you can report if someone was shitty or abusive or whatever, like if you had a writer that was shitty. I'm wondering if Dylan had a report of any of those types of people, and we could specifically try to go to one of those people and kill them or suck them instead of some sad, unsuspecting guy that was just having spaghetti at home by himself.
Specifically target a problem customer.
Yes.
like a 3-star. Okay, brilliant. Okay.
Someone that was like shitty to Dylan or like hit on her or something like that.
I love
Slightly Black Mirror-ish, but okay. Cool. All right.
Yeah.
Jen, you want to wait until a problem customer orders again?
Well, this is a dumb idea. How many problem customers did she have? Probably not very many.
She's like, Jen, you think because someone made a pass at me or gave me 1 star, they deserve for you guys to feed on them?
Okay, I think you should just order something.
Jobs are coming in.
Great.
There's one nearby.
Is the meal?
But if
Is
this
it a-
guy dies, or this person, we don't know who it is, then they're going to be able to trace it back to me. So I guess no, you can't leave evidence.
That I can't feed.
It'll be fine. So, something that my creator gifted me was the power of clouding people's memory. So, do what you need to do, and I will make sure that we're in the clear.
Lucius, are you sure about this? I mean, you're going with them on this.
No, I'm not fucking sure. It's a terrible fucking idea, but I am in this now, and the only way I can get to my creator is with these people. So
These
let's just go.
chuckleheads.
Okay. She says she's got a job right now. She's gonna go pick up some tacos from a taqueria nearby, and then she's taking it to a place called the Gardens, which is a big apartment complex here in Squirrel Hill.
Okay. How long did this take Jen before to like get into a computer and access it? Since I already have the encryption and stuff, how long? Does it take?
Since you know where it is, and you've already done all the like legwork to get this thing set up, it should only take you a quick roll once you have access to like some good internet and a good laptop to of get this all up and running.
Because I also have cloud memory, but mine it's only for a certain amount of time, a certain duration, like 10 minutes or something, right?
Right. I mean, I think both of you, if you each have cloud memory, it'll only last 10 minutes. And Jen,
what about mesmerize?
It'll last. I'm sorry, Lucius. It will last forever, but you can only erase 10 minutes of their memory, right?
Okay.
So that's the limitation on it. But if you got a lot of successes, I might make that longer. Maybe you could erase a half hour or whatever, depending on how many successes you rolled. Okay,
so we need a plan because Dylan, I mean, in the pandemic world, you leave. It's like a complex, right?
It is.
So maybe Dylan could say you have to come down to the lobby to get it because, I don't know, health protocols or something. Like she leaves it in the lobby and you have to come downstairs to get it, and then we could try to get into his place.
Or if he buzz them up, just wait till whoever it is pops out, and then.
And actually, I could mesmerize them. So there is something there's as well. Like if I could implant like these either false floors or hypnotic suggestions, get us all in.
Oh, okay.
And that could possibly help us as well in regards to making this easier. But I need to see them.
Okay. Well, let's try it. Let's just try to mesmerize the dude and then wipe his memory and see what happens.
And just so we're clear, all three of us are going to be eating?
No, I'm fine. Thank you.
And Circe goes, "Good luck," and she leaves. She doesn't.
Oh, she was there the whole time. Oh, shit.
Thana, the Nosferatu. I mean, she's a small woman with this strange kind of skeletal face of a Nosferatu. She usually, wears, things over her head and stuff. She comes to you and she says, I cannot eat this way. I cannot feed like this. Jen Brown, are you going to assault someone?
No. I'm not. And I'm being truthful. I'm not going to assault the person. I feel like maybe Curtis will, but I'm not going to.
This is not what Mary would want for you. Just your normal guilt trip as you check in with all the NPCs to see how they feel about the plan. Some people are not on board, but here we go. Let's get into it. Dylan tells you to meet her at the apartment complex because it doesn't make sense for all of you to go to a taqueria and then over to that. And soon you guys, tell me how you want to position yourselves in the parking lot, like in the shadow of like the doorway to this place. Like she tells you which entrance because there's multiple entrances. It's one of these big hives for like young, middle-class professionals here in this mid-sized city. Let me know where you want to put yourselves. Are there any other details I need to know before Dylan rings that buzzer?
So our plan is this person's going to come down to pick it up. They're going to get mesmerized to take us into their apartment, whereupon we're going to suck and also use their computer. And then we're going to wipe their memory?
That's the plan.
Okay.
Easy as pie.
Just so we're
Bingo,
clear.
bango.
Hey, it's a regular Ocean's 11.
I'm gonna kind of hang back, but like next to Dylan, like not be too in there. I'm gonna if there was a door, I'll be hiding, by where she can't see me, but I can see Dylan, and if Dylan gives me the signal, I'll then appear and then.
I'm going to stay in the car until it looks like...
Until it looks safe.
I'm useless in a fight. So I'm just going to stay... So we don't draw attention... Because people aren't supposed to be on the street as well, right? So we don't want a bunch of people out.
There is no car, Jen Brown. You have no car.
We have no car.
Dylan has a car, though, doesn't she?
Not right now. No.
Oh, she just walked the tacos over?
Yes, she walked the tacos over. This is all like a couple blocks. 5-10 blocks. So it's so hilarious how we have to get into the logistics. But you want to be hiding a bit farther away. It sounds like almost like across the street, kind of. Is that correct?
I'll be closer to the door.
Okay.
I wouldn't want to be so far away from them. I guess just somewhere that I wouldn't have to be extremely stealthy, I suppose, because I'm shit at stealth.
How totally ghoulish. What is your hunger at, Jen Brown?
3.
And what is your hunger at, Curtis?
Also 3.
Okay. So you guys aren't like fully acting like animals yet, but there is a sort of there's just a little bit of all your emotions are heightened. You're feeling everything in a heightened place. And Lucius, that's really reflected in their speech and their mannerisms. They seem emotional, and you've been there before, so you know what's going on with them. So I think that Dylan, now everybody is hidden. I'm not going to even make you make a stealth roll. I think it's easy enough to kind of tuck yourself back, in the shrubs or around the corner of the building. And Dylan walks up and hits a buzzer and is like, Jamie Montez, I have your tacos. And the voice, oh yeah.
Could I say that I would have instructed Dylan to just leave the tacos and then walk away?
Okay, no
So
problem.
that if there's any sort of security camera or anything, that she's clean.
You can say that, and so it is canon. And
Great.
so he's like, leave him at the door. She drops him at the door, and then she walks back out. And as she passes you guys, she kind of gives you side eye and walks out into the parking lot. And she's gotten some distance. She is clean in a way before, the guy looks like he might be in his mid-20s. He's kind of heavy set, probably, dark complected, long black hair, metal t-shirt, kind of comes down and undoes the door and reaches
I
out.
sweep round and I'm like, hold the door, and I'm like, Jamie. Hi. And I'm like, would you let me in, please?
Let the right one in.
Let the right one in.
Let the wrong
Let
one
me
in.
Oh,
Okay.
I'm
We are
mesmerized.
mesmerizing, right?
Yeah.
You can make a rouse check, Lucius, and then give me a manipulation plus dominate roll.
Manipulation plus dominate. Okay. Wait, so it's 3 plus wait, hold on.
That's okay. I can bring it up for you if you need.
3 plus 2, right? So manipulation 2, 3, so that's 5, right?
That's right.
Okay. 4 successes. Is that okay?
Oh, that's so good.
That's good.
Oh, okay. Because I'm like,
That's
I
real
don't
good.
know, man. I don't know.
Yeah, no, that's good.
Okay.
I was like,
so-
oh god, he failed.
So he's like holding a bag of tacos, and he goes, "Of course, come in." And he steps back and like lets you in.
And
I come in right
I
after
look at
him.
the back as
Same.
well, and just,
I'd scurry in after them.
Wait. Who are you? Who are these?
I look
people?
back at him, and he's like, "They're really good friends, really lovely, charming friends, and we all want to eat tacos tonight."
You want to eat tacos?
Absolutely. We're
Lucius,
hungry.
you have to tell him what to do. That's the way Mesmerize works.
We all just want to eat tacos with you in your apartment, having a good chat. Would you let us in? Let us have some tacos with you in your lovely apartment, Jamie?
Okay, but I don't know if there'll be enough for everyone.
Don't worry.
And then he walks and he hits the up button on the elevator and kind of looks back at you all like, bing. He gets onto the elevator.
I go in as well.
As do I.
I put my hand on his shoulder, making sure that he feels okay.
He seems like he's not, tense. He seems like he is, as you expect from Mesmerize, in a little bit of a trance. Let's see. You said you got 4 successes. I think you have about, and you would know this, Lucius, about 2 more complex commands that you could give him. Before
2 more which?
complex commands, like
okay.
do this and then tell me this or do that. It doesn't have to be like sit. It can be a bit more complex, but
Cool.
after you've used those up, it's going to start to wear off.
Okay.
He arrives, and you're kind of in like a shabby apartment building with sort of an institutional yellow color scheme. He walks over to a door, and it's not locked. He opens it up, and then you hear a voice on the other side go, "Daddy, Daddy, Daddy!"
Oh, come on.
And he
The
walks in,
dad.
and he looks back at you, and he's like, "Come on."
I walk in. I see that, and the child is there, right?
There are 2 children there.
Brilliant. Okay, I see them. Hello.
There's
What
a
are you-
boy that's maybe 11 years old. A little younger than that, and then a very young girl.
Oh, what are your names?
I'm Teresa.
Ah, Teresa.
Aaron, who are you?
Well,
There's like cartoons going on in the background. They're watching some Netflix thing.
my name's Jamie. And I'm one of your good friends of your father, and we're all going to eat tacos together. Would
Your
you like
name
to
is-
join?
Yeah.
Great.
And then I
they
look
start
at Jamie.
opening the bag, but the boy is like kind of like eyeing you warily, Lucius.
And I look at Jamie and I'm like, just because the guy is also called Jamie, right?
You just said that your name Jamie and his name is
And
Jamie.
the kid and the guy, fuck. Okay, that's fine. And I look at Jamie and I'm like, Jamie, would you mind picking up some clothes for me in your in the what I want to pick up in the bedroom, please? You know, the 2 pairs of jeans and the other pair of shirt that you owed me. And then I look at Curtis and I look at anyone and I look at Jen, like the people who are hungry, and I kind of give them, and I look at them and I'm like, just make sure that he gets the right jeans and the right shirts, the nice checkered one.
He goes, I'll get you the jeans and the checkered shirt that I owe you.
And then I'm
into the bedroom.
And we follow him.
Yeah. Is there a laptop in the bedroom?
There is a mess of stuff everywhere. The place is it's a little cluttered. Jen, give me a wits plus investigation roll to find their tech setup and get it where you want it to be. And are you prioritizing that right now?
Yes, definitely.
Okay, great. Give me that. And in order to get the stuff together you need to make this work, you need 3 successes. Curtis, our friend Jamie Montez is just kind of like, very slowly and lethargically going through his clothes. And he has laid out 2 pairs of jeans, but now he's looking for a checkered shirt that is not there. This guy owns metal t-shirts.
Yeah. So is he, is Jen out in the rest of the apartment, or is she in here looking for stuff?
Jen, it's not. You can stay in here if you like. You can stay in here. It looks like he's got a desk here with like a lot of wires and like an old like desktop. So that's the issue, is that you can keep looking for a laptop and all this stuff and get all this stuff together. Curtis, are you going to feed on him?
I shut the door of the bedroom,
and you hear the girl Teresa laughing at something Lucius said.
What a charmer. I lock the door. And as Jamie is like, I guess, like going through like yes. like various metal shirts, I just kind of come up behind him and like pull his hair out of the way and
Great. How much do you want to feed? Like how
I don't want to look, man, I don't want to drain him. Okay. I just want to take the edge off some.
Okay, so at hunger,
I'm in hunger 3.
You're at hunger 3, so I don't think that you are so ravenous that you can't kind of control what you're doing. Okay, like you can just take enough to get the edge off. And I believe enough to get the edge off means, like, this is the horrifying thing. It means like 1 hunger. It means like 1 hunger. If you want to leave enough that Jen could have some and not, not put this guy in kind of need of medical attention, you could take off 2 hunger. And then if Jen feeds, he will be in need of medical attention.
I'll just take 1.
Okay. So you give him, as it is known in vampiric parlance, the kiss. You come down on his neck and you just take a sip. And during that time, he just sort of pauses. Jen Brown, how did your roll go to get the tech together that you needed?
Wah, wah.
Jen, total failure. Jen Brown, do you have willpower to spend?
Well, the problem is I'm so hungry that...
You're all hungry right now. But it was just a failure, not a bestial failure, right?
No, it was just a failure. But if I re-roll, I can only re-roll 1 die anyway. And you said I needed 3.
Okay, so here's what I'm going to let you do, Jen Brown. You can try to connect with this stuff, and it'll be at like a -4 to your like tech plus intelligence roll.
Oh, Jesus.
I'm going to allow you to try that. Or you could say, that you could make use of this stuff if you just took it out of here and got it back to the tanning salon and maybe pilfered like 1 or 2 other cords or items that they may have there.
That maybe seems better, since I think we're on borrowed time right now and I'm pretty hungry. So maybe I can I'm sure he has like a bag or something around, or maybe even I brought a bag or something that I can just...
There are bags.
Yeah, that I can shove some wires in while Curtis is feeding, so he doesn't even notice that it's happening. Not Curtis.
Meanwhile, you're out in the little dinette area, Lucius, and the boy is like, "My dad borrowed your clothes."
No. It's clothes for an event that we're doing. Your dad is, as we all know, a metalhead. And this event that we're doing, it's for other people of the kind of music that he likes.
Oh, cool. So you like Testament?
No, actually, I'm more
ossuary.
I have heard of that, but I would say my kind of taste is more classic.
Classic, so like Sabbath. So now this is working. I mean, like you kind of thrown him a curveball enough that I'm not going to make you roll, Lucius. I think that you've thrown him a curveball to where he's kind of like hooked into this sort of musical conversation. And what has happened in the other room? Jen, you have the stuff, you have it in a bag. What do you want to do now?
So maybe I am taking my fangs out now and just like just like aching to like just have a little and then I'm like looking at you a little like, all right. Got what you need?
I think so. Do I have what I need? Do I need anything else? Can I take this and make it work back at our weird little base?
I think so. I think that's what I'm gonna allow. You'll probably have to roll to put it all together when you get back, but you have this. You have equipment now. You have something to work with. There's only one slight problem, which is that Curtis's predator is Alley Cat, so he's used to taking blood like this. But Jen, your predator is that you're a consensualist. You like for people to agree to give you blood. So I'm going to let you feed from this guy, but it's going to be tough.
Question.
Yeah.
Because the way that I did it back in the day is I had my own little blood bank. And Curtis just used medical equipment, didn't he, to help Craig that he might still have on him? So, and he's also mellow from just getting the kiss probably, right? So could I piggyback on that and basically stick a little IV in him and get some blood for myself and then bail?
Just want a syringe's worth?
Just a little syringe worth?
Yeah, all you need to do is because you're doing this quickly, because you guys know you got to get out of here in like 10 minutes. I think it's worth a roll. I think that there's a chance that could go wrong. So I need a medicine roll from you. I need
a roll.
A dexterity plus medicine roll.
Oh, fuck. That's all hunger.
I will never take you to an escape room.
Just anxiety and swearing. That's basically what it is. What happens? I mean, do I just roll it with all hunger die?
Roll what?
My dexterity plus medicine is just the amount of hunger that I have.
I think that sounds right.
Oh boy.
Jen,
did you tell me about this plan?
Oh yeah, should I just tell Curtis about this plan?
Jen tells you the plan as she pulls out the medical equipment.
What? Do you know how to use that thing?
You sort of do. You used to have this sort of like blood bank operation, Jen. But I guess you knew just enough to take a client who you had paid and who sat down. Anyway, let's see how you do. How many dice do you have?
3.
And you need 2 successes.
Oh, and the hunger. If you had to guess.
I bet it's a total failure.
You would be correct.
Okay. Jen, you kind of like you kind of shaking a little bit. You guys are trying to hurry. Curtis is like, "What are you doing?" You stab the syringe in. You miss the vein. You stab it in again. Suddenly, the guy screams, but blood starts to pour out of his arm. And Jen, now you have to make a willpower roll.
Fuck.
Well, shit.
Oh my god.
No. Oh no. Okay. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
I'm gonna hear the scream and be like, and then
You
turn to
gotta
kid
be kidding me.
and be like, hey, he's probably showing him some screamo music. I mean,
The boy is on his feet and he's like walking toward his dad's bedroom. Jen Brown, how did that roll go for willpower? So Jen Brown forgot about the medical equipment and just bites into the guy's arm, and Jen is drinking not a sip. She is like going for it. The guy stops screaming because the kiss has sort of a soporific effect, like suddenly he's like looking down. He doesn't know where this woman came from. The mesmeric like sort of trance is sort of off of him, but he's at a loss. Okay. So you're not really facing resistance from him, but Jen looks like she's going to drink until she feels full, and the young boy is headed toward the bedroom. Yes, Lucius.
I dash for the boy. I grab him and I look into his eyes, and I go to cloud his memory, and I go to say, like, just for these last few minutes.
Okay, so cloud memory. I need you to make a rouse roll again. No, I'm sorry, that is free. You do not need to make a rouse roll. By the way, your last one, did you succeed at that, Lucius, when you did your mesmerize attack?
Yes.
Okay, great. So Lucius is holding well with hunger. Lucius, just roll charisma plus dominate.
Charisma plus dominate. Okay.
How did you do, my friend?
5 successes.
Lucius, you erase the scream from the boy's mind, and he's just kind of like describe to me what you do to him. Like
I look into his eyes. I erase this kind of the scream in his eyes, and I'm like, Sabbath, Blacks, Ozzy. Who was it again who was singing? It was Ozzy.
Ozzy, yeah.
Ozzy, yeah. Osborne. Yes, Ozzy.
And Dio, Ronnie
and
James
Dio. Dio. I remember Dio.
You like Dio?
Brilliant. I love Dio. I mean, when Dio was in the band, he was brilliant. Hey, come over here. Let me try this.
Meanwhile,
beautiful.
Lucius being a holy diver into this guy's vein.
Yeah. What do you want to do here? I'm going to call your failure. I'm afraid Jen Brown is feeding, two hunger away, but that will put this guy into a state where he needs medical attention.
Can I pull her off?
You can, and that will trigger a frenzy roll. Are you going to do that, Curtis?
Do I know it will trigger a frenzy?
You think it probably will. She seems to have kind of lost control. You could try a different tactic that might not do that. Let me know what you'd like to do.
I think maybe if I can just like get her face and just like, hey, like almost like
you're doing this.
Like, I'm an animalism
Yeah.
person. It's like the scruff of the neck kind of thing. Like, hey, what do we talk about?
Yeah. Okay, so you're just grabbing her like that.
Just try to shake, like, hey, wake up.
Okay, so it sounds like you're trying to get through to her psychologically, right?
Yeah.
Instead of like wrestling her to the ground,
I don't want to rip her off.
Get her attention and to get her to focus on you.
Right.
That feels like a charisma plus. I will allow a leadership role.
Okay, that's
Oh boy,
right.
And Curtis, you need 3 successes.
Oh, no.
Right.
going on in this
I'll spend a willpower then.
It's a good idea.
This is like
literally, I've become babysitter.
blood spraying everywhere, and
truly.
then cut to Lucius being like, "Yeah, Black Sabbath. You know what I really like."
Glad there's one adult in the room. Good Lord.
Oh god.
Jen, go ahead and heal one of your hunger.
Oh my God.
No, I'm just telling
2 successes.
you.
Sorry.
2 successes, not enough.
That's what I got.
So Jen is not looking in your eyes, and she bites down again. And so now what I need from Curtis is, she's only taken 1 health level, but she's trying to continue to drink. So that tactic didn't work. What is the next option available to you, or do you want to let her finish? because you know very shortly she will be sated, she will become herself again, and you can move on from there.
I rip her off.
Okay, great. In that case, don't bother to make a brawl roll. I'm just going to say, because, she's sort of distracted. You rip her off. Jen Brown, you are about to do an anger frenzy roll. Please,
Okay.
you rip Jen Brown off. She howls and screams and growls like a feral Wolverine, and she must roll her willpower again.
Well, that didn't go so great last time. So let's see what happens now. Oh, 3 successes.
Jen Brown, it looks like violence was the right solution in this case. Curtis has slammed you against the desks and the stuff and the dresser drawers in the back of the room, and that snaps you out of it. The guy falls to his knees. He's kind of like holding on to like the edge of his bed, like whoa, and you have blood all over your face, Jen Brown. But you have extricated her from the situation, Curtis. What next?
I'm going to grab... so go ahead.
Okay. What were you going to grab?
I was just going to grab a T-shirt and wipe the blood off my face.
Great.
I'm
going to grab the bag. You said you had a bag with all the computer stuff in it?
Uh-huh.
I'm going to grab that and be like, will you be able to get out of here?
Yeah, I'm fine.
I take 2 steps back. Is there a window here?
Yeah, there is a window in this room. This is a bedroom. Yep. I
open it and I jump out.
Oh, that's right. Curtis, are you activating your feather fall power?
Yes, I am.
So Curtis, sometimes he does some, it's weight of the feather. It's free. It's a difficulty if it's activated under pressure, but I don't think in this case people aren't firing at you. There isn't someone directly behind you that poses a large threat to you. So Curtis, you do a little Lost Boys shit. You know how they kind of fly in that movie? Curtis steps out and just sort of like
maybe a little heavier fall since I've got this computer bag, but
right. Jen Brown, Curtis is in the wind. What do you do?
I'm going to go over to him and I'm going to say, how long has this been? Sub 10 minutes?
I think, well, let's see. I have a D10 here. Let's see. I'm going to go ahead and add 5 because you guys have been in here at least 5 minutes. Oh dear. It's been 11 minutes.
Son of a bitch. Okay, I'm going to go up to him and I'm going to say, you let your old friend in to grab some clothing. He got it and he left. And I'm going to basically say, like, you didn't see anyone else, and the injuries on his arm, he's not going to know how he got them, basically.
No, and in fact, because it is a vampire's kiss, the wounds are erased.
Even when I do it?
Well, you're a thin blood, aren't you? Oh, dear me.
Reminded you. Yes.
Yes. No, not when you do it. When you do it, it's a mess. So, yeah. Yeah, I think that you need to go ahead and give me a dominate roll to make it. You're trying to erase his memory. Am I correct?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, maybe I can say he thinks he might have bed bugs or something. Like he got bit a bunch or something.
Sure.
Like
Give me that erase memory roll. Give me that erase memory roll. And
we're going to need a bigger bed. That's a damn big bed bug.
I have no idea.
You need roll charisma plus dominate, and you need to give me 3 successes. No, wait, 4 successes to get him to forget the entire situation, but 3 successes if you want him to buy the things you just told him, that his old friend came or whatever.
Charisma plus dominate.
Actually, I wonder. Wait, I just want to look at the description here because I want to make sure. Can you create new memories? Oh no. Or can you just make
erase
them forget? Okay, so you can only make them forget. You can't make him rationalize all that stuff. I apologize.
Oh, okay.
But that's good for you. That's how Jen goes about it. Like, look, this is what happened. It's not that big a deal. And then you go ahead and roll your charisma plus dominate.
How much hunger did I just take off?
You took off 1.
Okay. Charisma plus dominate. And I need 3?
To really get rid of the whole situation, the last 10 minutes, yeah. How'd you do?
Okay, hold on. I'm going to spend a willpower. And it's still not going to be very impressive. Okay, I got 2 successes.
Okay, not bad. So here's what happened. You think that he looks at you and he doesn't look like he's just been attacked by you. He's holding his arm and he's like, "Who are you? Get the fuck out of my house."
I'm so sorry. I'm just going to act there's a fucking syringe and shit. I'm going to act like a junkie. And I just stumbled into his apartment or something. I'm going to grab and be like, "Shit, I'm sorry. Fuck, I'm so sorry, man. I'm so sorry."
Jesus, people can't be coming into people's apartments right now.
I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. And I'm just going to try to act weird and out of it and leave.
Okay, so you come back out into the living area in the dinette, and Lucius is there standing talking to the boy.
And I'm going to look at him and basically let's get the fuck out of here.
Like, hey, keep practicing that guitar. You play guitar, right? Yeah, keep practicing. You do really good. Thank you very much. Jamie, good seeing you, pal.
Get the fuck out of my house, junkies.
God, you're a funny guy, Jamie. Fuck you too. And then I just walk out.
The door shuts and locks behind you. And you guys are you can take the elevator or you can take the stairs. What are you gonna do?
Take the stairs.
Take the stairs.
Go for the stairs.
Yeah.
Run.
Okay. You running, sprinting, full out. You blast out of a heavy door out into a courtyard, and it's then just a short run back to the street. And soon, you're down the block, and soon you're joined by Dylan and Curtis.
Okay.
I hope you got what you need.
Me too.
Can we not do this here? Can we get out?
Let's go back.
Okay. Soon you are climbing back into the Aruba Breeze tanning salon. Thana is there kind of looking at you all like, were you able to satiate your hunger?
We were able to get what we needed. And I'm just going to try to start setting up the computer.
Great. For that, I want a
Tech plus intelligence?
Yeah, I'll allow that. Tech plus intelligence. But this isn't, you're having to pull wires from the TV in here and everything to kind of get this together the way you want it to. So I need 4 successes on that.
Well, I'm going to spend another willpower then.
Sounds like a good idea.
Wouldn't it be funny if you just after all this were like, oh yeah, they closed your back door. We spent an entire session getting all this stuff. Okay, let me read.
How did you know what I was about to do?
I got 5 successes.
That is plenty. And so Jen, the hours pass, but you kind of get this stuff all plugged in, and you're on this old, one of those old Macs that have the colored plastic back or whatever, and you found the grouper account, and you've used your various sub shells to kind of access the back door, and you are inside. And so how many successes did you get? 5, right? Mm-hmm. Then I think that you have then you get all of this information.
Hey,
you ready?
Yes.
A bunch of new admins with top level access have been added to Sabrina's account. They all have a completely nondescript string of number and letter names.
Mm-hmm.
Sabrina's account receives updates and emails from the Pittsburgh Water and Sewer Authority.
Okay.
Now we're getting into the deeper stuff. Grouper recently invested. You've gotten into kind of emails about things that she's buying through the business. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Grouper recently invested in an expensive company boat, what is known as a river yacht, that they are docking at a place called Washington's Landing.
Okay. Interesting.
You would have never bought this when you were CEO of Grouper because, you guys make good money, but you're not spending it on company boats. That's insane. And then this I'll give you for free. There's a lot of chatter on Grouper about the quarantine zone in Skeenley Park. And I told you about that. People are, Grouper is still used a lot for people who try to plan protest actions, and they're angry that all of sort of the shanty towns around Pittsburgh have been torn down, and all of the people experiencing homelessness in Pittsburgh have been sort of forced to relocate to this park where they've set up sort of this quarantine. And now you got 5 successes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's see if Sabrina's daily sweep of her stuff detects that you're there. All right, I know. I'm not going to tell you. So suffice to say, after getting that mother load of information, it's probably time to jack out of the mainframe.
Checking out.
I'm unplugged from the Matrix. I'm going to relay all that info to these guys.
So so I'm assuming that the we're talking about the same group of people that just attacked us, right? That's what
Yes.
I'm thinking.
Mm-hmm.
Then we need to go to Washington's Landing.
How far is Pittsburgh Water and Sewer from Washington's Landing?
Quite close. They're both on the Allegheny River. They're like a short drive away from each other. Washington's Landing, of course, is sort of an island in the middle of the river. And not even I don't even think you can call it an island because it's quite large and long, and it has a bridge that goes across it, so you can get there from the city proper or to the other side of the other bank of the Allegheny. If you go just a little bit west of there, you come to the building that houses the Pittsburgh Sewage and Water Authority, which is right there on the river, and actually, filters parts of the river and has a lot of machinery and apparatus and infrastructure there to kind of work with Pittsburgh's water supply.
They must be on the boat. You're right. They must be scared. Afraid to be stuck in one place.
Also, who is running that quarantine zone? Is it these Inquisition freaks, or is it the Camarilla? Because if they're rounding up people off the streets, that might explain why our Camarilla friends seem so satisfied.
I'm not sure how to go about this. We don't know how strong they are in number. Can I tell at all from sweeping the back door, like how much correspondence she's getting? Am I getting any sort of sense of who these emails are coming from, or?
Well, the official account, the email account that you were able to get into, she just had business stuff in there, which is why you were able to see the boat.
Mm-hmm.
And it's why you were able to see like that she's getting like, the daily business like alerts from the Pittsburgh Water and Sewage Authority. Like it's kind of like stuff like workmen had to be dispatched to such and such place where a water main exploded, or we are running the filtration process on the following reservoirs, things like that. In terms of like these ghost accounts that have all been added to her, like these like logins that have all been added to her account, you can tell that they are they've been added within the last year, and they are people who are just looking at grouper traffic.
They're just looking at it.
Yeah, I mean they seem to be lurks, like they're not posting with her account. They're not sending messages. Grouper, as we've established, is sort of a Twitter that disappears. You know what I mean? Like that's why it's used to plan protest actions.
And how many of those new administration arbitrary numbers are there?
There are 3.
There are 3.
Mm-hmm.
And did I get any sense of where she is location-wise? I'm sure I wouldn't. But
No, I'm sorry. That is a little bit of a tougher job, like
Okay.
putting a pin in a map, and you weren't able to do that. So now I ask the coterie and their ragtag band of rebels, what is your next move? Do you want to investigate the camp in the park? Do you want to investigate the water plant or Washington's Landing, as Lucius has advised? Or is there a fourth option I'm not thinking of? Please let me know.
So let me just get this right again. We've got information that there is something at, what is that, Washington's Landing again?
Right, that is where the boat is being docked.
That's where the boat is
they're
being
paying. They're paying fees to dock the boat.
Right, and then we've got the we've got a camp where they are kind of keeping, we assume, people in, right?
Mm-hmm.
There is also, what else is there?
Pittsburgh Water and Sewer.
And what is that?
Sabrina is just getting a lot of correspondence from there, it seems like.
Okay.
She's tracking alerts from there.
Okay.
Which suggests that it's a place of import, although we don't know why. And she's under the thumb of the Camarilla, who are the people that attacked us.
Right. Okay.
She was with your sire, yeah.
I'm going to strongly suggest that we could either go to the main, go to Pittsburgh Water and Sewer. If we assume that this is like the importing place or where they are sending things in, we could do like survey the area in a way and see what's going on there, and how do you kind of get an idea of how shipment, if there is any shipment or anything going in and out. Just doing a bit of retcon rather than storming the base of what I assume is the Washington's Landing.
Seems good to me. But I am also curious about this encampment and what exactly the hell is going on there.
Well, I think, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it seems like though that the base of operations or something. Perhaps a haven of some kind is being made out of this water.
You have two teams worth of people here. If you want to send, remember the way they execute missions is not always exactly to your liking, or they can fail at them. But if you wanted to send some people to the camp or one of the other locations, you are welcome to do that.
Did you say that your friend Craig is an was ex-army?
Yeah, as am I.
I'd then say that maybe Craig and maybe another human should then go to the camp, because I feel like they would possibly be safe to pass over there. They'll be able to get in and get out without any really too much concern. Whereas if any of us go there, I would probably, if one of our kin went there, I can see that becoming a bloodbath quite quickly.
Yeah, but how much is he going to be able to see without getting snatched up himself? Yeah.
What part of the army was he in? I ask, knowing nothing about the army. Does he have experience surveilling or insurgents or anything like that?
I mean, you guys, suffice to say you were in the shit. But if you were in Afghanistan, you did see combat.
So we both done counterinsurgency.
Mm-hmm. You were injured or at least Craig was in the line of duty. So yes, you have done counterinsurgency.
If he has a clear head, of course.
That's the thing. I mean, they could look at it from a distance, but I mean, I don't know that anybody gets in and gets out from the sound of things.
Right.
Then,
but I'd be willing to take a retcon look at this boat and this and the water plant.
I can, yeah. Okay.
Very good. So, we've come to the end of our time tonight, but I just want to leave you. So you're going to the treatment plant. Is that right?
Yes.
Or are you going to Washington's Landing? What I heard was that the Washington's Landing might, where Lucius was guessing it might be more of the stronghold, and then maybe the treatment plant is some sort of satellite location that might be a little safer to recon first.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
Are the other kindred in agreement with that?
Yeah, that sounds fine
good to me.
Okay, great. So, and you're going to send Craig and Dylan to the camp?
But not to enter it, just
No,
to
of course.
take a look and see, get a closer look, see what it looks like. Who seems to be in charge of it? What's going on there?
Can I ask a question? Do we have any sense of if people are allowed to move about during the day and just at night it's really scarce?
Yeah.
Because you were saying that people just aren't on the street.
So, not to bring back too many bad memories for people, but you remember at the very beginning of quarantine where some people were kind of still going to work because they were essential, but everybody else was not. And there are curfews, right, in effect for a lot of areas. Well, this is not our world. This is the world of darkness where vampires run around and the government and everybody is about 10 shades darker than they are in our own world. So yes, Jen Brown, it is almost like a police state has descended on Pittsburgh. Probably good to level out that curve with the virus, but it's being used as sort of a smokescreen for whatever is going on with this camp. So only very few cars, Brad describes to you very few cars on the road during the day and almost nothing at night after the curfew. Only emergency vehicles, which include these strange white vans pushing around hazmat suited goons.
Okay. So you probably wouldn't see a lot of people just going for walks.
You would not. And that is an issue for feeding. Who knows what Circe is getting up to right now or what she's figuring out.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be so sad if Dylan got snatched.
So do you want to just send Craig?
No.
I don't feel good. Sending Craig to find help.
I mean, what do you think? We put Dylan in some weird scrapes and she's gotten out okay.
You
but-
literally got her to deliver tacos to a guy, and we completely decimated his home. So,
But it's all good because we erased his memory, right?
Yeah. Yeah,
Sure.
we did do that. Okay, well, maybe we can tell Dylan to act like she's making a delivery. Have her have a bag of food with her so that if she walks by that she's not snatched, make it seem like she's on the job or something.
She's an essential worker.
She's an essential worker.
She is. She's a
Food delivery
He says,
service.
right on, no problem. And Craig's like, I'll let you know what's happening in there.
Okay.
You can count on me.
Thanks, man.
I won't let you down, Kurt.
We're all in this together, man.
I know,
We're
man.
crazy right now.
Yeah, but no, we're up for it. I'll see you in 24 hours. And he and Dylan head out, and then I will leave you. With a final image. The Pittsburgh water and sewage plant. It's an enormous building hanging on to the side of the Allegheny River. In our story, it's well decayed and it hasn't been sort of updated in a timely fashion. So some of the infrastructure, some of the piping dates back to maybe even the beginning of the 20th century. Old, rotting, rusting pipes in a strange web cover the floor in some areas where there's huge filtration devices and things that keep the water moving. And down among all of those pipes and strange apparatus, you could hear the sloshing and moving of liquid. That night, as you were awakening in a tanning parlor only a few miles south, a group of creatures opened their eyes and tasted the air and climbed over each other out of mucousy sacks to kind of climb up out of the pipes and the plumbing to look at the large window up into the moonlight. And they smiled, and they too were hungry. All right, that's tonight's session.
what the hell?
Yeah. We'll find out what
sacks.
Yes, we'll find out what all of that meant. We'll find out what all of that meant next time, it seems like. I want to thank Ashley Birch, Ross Bryant, and Abu Salim for being here and creating such an incredible session. Give them a digital round of applause.
Oh my lord.
Oh man.
Oh no.
Yeah. Oh, thank you, Clancy. Super fan and mod Clancy. Krasmalax, what's up? Thank you guys for being here. Thank you for watching. Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Man, oh man.
Oh,
Ooh,
woo! Yay!
honestly.
Fucking
Fantastic, Mr. Fox is here.
brutal DoorDash.
That was the most brutal DoorDash of all time. I gotta say, this is one of my favorite sessions now.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys were so good at kind of letting your characters get used to each other or learn about each other. But then, so I loved watching the role play. But also, I mean, a session that's just about a fucked up vampire DoorDash. That's the kind of desperate situation you're in, and you handled it. I mean, I think surprisingly well.
Yeah, something to think about the next time you order tacos.
Right.
Ooh.
Yeah, we did say
wow.
that it was DoorDash, right? So guys, come on, Grubhub or Postmates are the way to go. DoorDash has been infiltrated. Well, thank you again, players. I'm going to say goodbye, but I can't wait to play with you again. This has been great.
Thank you
This has
so
been
much.
fun. Thank you so
Jared.
much.
So
man. Really
fun.
good job, man. Like so unwrapped. Like it's brilliant. It's so brilliant, man. Really.
Really.
Sweet dreams, Abu. Sweet
Thank
dreams.
you.
Yeah,
Thank
trying
you.
to
I know
think.
you
Yes.
guys are just gonna go on with your day. I'm literally just going to go back to bed and think, what the hell was that? never ordering food again.
Great. Thank you, Abu, Ashley, and Ross. We'll see more of them very soon. I am going to just go through our credit sequence here. And then
Everybody.
bye. Okay. Guys, don't forget Tuesday at 7 p.m. Pacific time. You can join Mike Drucker, Kelly Nugent, and Adam Garcia as we delve into the neon lit streets of the Night City for more Cyberpunk Red. Cyberpunk Red, that's 7 p.m. this coming Tuesday. Vampires of Pittsburgh will be back on November 29th. And if you have a moment, if you want to check out a really great game we just played, I really would recommend that you check out our Blades in the Dark game. Oh, I thought that was right. Sorry, Clint has just updated his show notes. Vampires of Pittsburgh will be back on December 6th. December 6th, we have to take Thanksgiving off. But I'm going to do my best to hop on sometime during Thanksgiving weekend and give some people some kind of content. But we won't be back till December 6th with Vampires of Pittsburgh. And then, as I was saying a moment ago, Blades in the Dark, we just played it with the Better Than Heroes crew, and it was an incredible game. They are a completely different crew from our Glass Cannon folks, and I'd really highly recommend you go check out our Blades in the Dark game from yesterday and our first Cyberpunk game, both of which are on YouTube. Please go and watch those. Or just, click them and then navigate away and then go back and click them again. Does that work? Okay. Stream of Blood is also a podcast. If you want to catch up on all the Vampires of Pittsburgh episodes and episodes of our Call of Cthulhu campaign, the Neptune Society, please go and listen to our podcast. Subscribe, rate it 5 stars. It will help people find the stream. The stream will help people find the podcast. You can catch up and listen while you're driving or while you're mowing the lawn or working out. People do that, right? So please find that podcast and check it out. It helps when you spread the word. So we're on Twitter, Instagram. We are on Facebook, and you can join our Discord, the Stream of Blood server of Blood on Discord. I highly recommend that you hop on there and have a chat with us. And that's it. Were there any questions or comments? I'm going to go into our final credits. Oh, how did it feel to flex your heavy metal knowledge on Abu, Jared? That was a great thing. Oh, that's very nice of you to say. Boy, it's so funny. I think of myself as like a metalhead, but I find that there's not enough room in my head for everything. So every time I want to go listen to metal, like I have like 3 bands that are my go-tos, and then I have to kind of go and kind of look up what I'm going to listen to next. But I think I've mentioned it on here before. I really like the Radical Research podcast with Jeff Wagner and Hunter Ginn. I find it to be an incredible research to learn about some of these like metal bands or like bizarre prog bands. I highly recommend it. Yeah. Okay, our final credits here. I want to thank my producers and partners, Clinton Trucks and Brian Baldinger, without whom none of this would happen. I would be presenting an entire game to my bedroom wall. I want to thank our social media manager, Megan Arch, who lets you know what we're doing and creates all those beautiful assets that let you know how exciting the upcoming events for Stream of Blood are and will be. Our Stream of Blood logo was created by Garrett Ross, and that little animation that opens it all was created by role player Andrew Orvidal. Check out his stuff, Andrew Orvidal, online. And if you get a chance, check out Ross Bryant's art at RossBB on Instagram, or Will Potworth, who does a lot of art for us, Pottorff, Will Potworth on Instagram or on his website. Okay, that's it. Until next time, get pink.